Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare प्रेम से बोलिए हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छाड़ी उठ जीव बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीव बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हय ग्रीव नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्याम पूतना घातन कैटभ साटन जयोदासोरथी राम पूतना घाटन कैटभ साटन जयोदासोरथी राम यशोदा दुलालो गोविंद गोपालो वृंदावन पुरंदर गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रमन भुवन सुंदर वरो गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रमन भुवन सुंदर वरो रावणांत करो माखन तस्करो गोपी जना वस्त्र हारी ब्रजेरो राखालो गोप वृंद पालो चित्तहारी बंशीधारी ब्रजेरो राखालो गोप वृंदो पालो चित्तहारी बंशीधारी योगींद्र वंदन श्रीनंदो नंदना ब्रजजना भय हारी नवीना नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहना वंशी बिहारी नवीना नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहना वंशी बिहारी यशोदानंदन कंस निषूदन निकुंज रास विलासी कदम्ब कानन रास परायण वृंदा विपिन निवासी आनंद वर्धन प्रेम निकेतन फूल सरयोजक कामो गोपांगनागन चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुणगण धामो गोपांगनागन चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुणगण धामो जमुना जीवन केली परायण मानस चंद्र चकोर यमुना जीवन केली परायण मानस चंद्र चकोर नाम सुधारस गाओ कृष्ण यश राख वचन मन मोर नाम सुधारस गाओ कृष्ण यश राख वचन मन मोर जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जयो कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जयो राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे राधे जय ललिता विशाखा ललिता विशाखा ललिता विशाखा जयो ललिता विशाखा जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव
Hare Krishna. I extend a warm welcome to all devotees. We are starting the 7th chapter, the second half today. So as we have already been saying, we are now entering into the innermost secrets of the Supreme Lord. So we are here only by the mercy of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Parampara. So let us add our prayers now and seek more and more blessings of the Parampara, which is our only wealth, to enter into the transcendental secrets of the Supreme Lord, so that we can one day hope to go back home, back to Godhead, and never to return to this material world, which is a dukkhalayam and a shashvatam. So let us all join together in this Mangala Sharanam prayers. Om Ajnanathimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Panchatattva Atmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Yevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे सर्वोपनिषतो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्. So this amazing nectar of Srimad Bhagavad Gita has been spoken by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna for the benefit of all of us by using Arjuna as just an instrument for passing on this message to us. Krishna is speaking to us directly and it is coming to us through the amazing parampara system. So let us receive it with open ears and open hearts and pray to the Lord to give us the realizations. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaide girim yatkripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dhinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. So before we take up today's session, let me just ask you a few questions uh, which will clarify what we have learned so far. There is a purpose. So I request all of you to participate enthusiastically. What is absolute truth? That is a question. What is absolute truth in your understanding? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Please everybody mute yourself. Only one person. Sujit Jana Prabhu, please answer.
সুজিত তোমাকে বলছে আনসার
Hare Krishna. Okay, sir. Yeah, please. Devendra Mishra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This is knowledge is truth and Krishna is absolute truth.
Krishna is absolute truth. Wonderful.
And spiritual knowledge is the truth.
Yes, spiritual knowledge is the truth and Krishna is the absolute truth. Very nice. Yeah. Sujit Jana Prabhu, would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think there is no doubt that Krishna is the absolute truth.
Yes.
But elaborate it further, the realization of what is Krishna. Of course, we do not have the intelligence to understand that. But whatever we have, to realize that to the extent of what is Krishna, when we see that the whole universe and everything is in his mouth, that is probably when we realize what is the extent to which we need to compare with where we are as his servants. To realize Krishna is everything, is absolute truth. To realize that he is the procreator, he is the destructor of everything. It is everything runs in his by his will. Whether we follow him, we don't follow him, we are all always on his path. Whatever he does, wherever he puts us, whatever is whatever happens to us is perfect. He has said it is perfect. I have done it perfectly. To understand that he is somebody who's everything and he cannot do anything wrong, and we are the servants of him who cannot do anything right. Probably that is the real truth. The fault to realize what is our status as compared to what we perceive as him. He is much greater than that.
Very well. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Now, the same question: what is absolute truth, or let us say, what is the supreme absolute truth? But the question is slightly I am modifying. Give me a philosophic explanation of supreme absolute truth. Philosophic explanation means, let us say, why is it important for us to know the supreme absolute truth? Why are we looking for supreme absolute truth? What do we mean by that? Why are people searching for it? Whether it is the scientist or the atheist or the materialist or the devotee, whoever it may be. But why are we interested in the supreme absolute truth? So in that sense, what do we mean by that? Hare Krishna. Anybody can attempt, no problem. Hare Krishna. What is the definition? What should be the definition? Kalikumar Ghosh Prabhu, please unmute. Please unmute, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Janratnam.
Absolute truth, we understand that which is permanent in nature, that does not change over time. And it is the original source, and from which everything has been created, emanated. And that is the cause of all causes.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. That's perfect. So I will ask you a supplementary question. Why are we interested to know that? Devendra Mishra Prabhu can answer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Actually,
Sorry. There is some disturbance. Kindly mute everybody else. Please mute yourself. Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, when we are talking about the truth, it is permanent and it is eternal. When we are studying the material things, today it is right, tomorrow it is wrong. So we want to know the absolute right, which is from the starting to end, it is right, so that I can traverse easily. Otherwise, I will be rounding around all these things and I can get the final. That's why I'm searching for the truth. That should be.
Perfect. It will save us a lot of time and energy, as you very correctly put it. Yeah. If we are finding a truth today, and it turns out to be true for maybe some time, or under some conditions, but in other conditions it is no longer true, or in other situations, circumstances, other times it is not true, then you start looking again. No, there's a higher truth. Yeah. So all the material truths, the worldly truths, we call them as temporary truths, not absolute, relative truths. Relatively, given some conditions, they are true. Given some conditions, they are true, but not always true. So, whether it is a scientist or a spiritual man, all of us are interested in the truth. Amazing. So, in the search for the absolute truth, where do we differ? The materialistic scientist and the spiritualist, where do we differ in this journey of trying to find out the absolute truth? Where do we part? Hare Krishna. Yes, Devendra Mishra Prabhu, you can answer this also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, if I the proof we require, because here we differ, because somebody believes on the instant truth, that is you may call as the what we see we can believe that this is the right. Another thing is a Hanuman, we can logically find out certain truth, logically we can prove this is truth. And as per our spiritual scriptures, this is the Sabda Praman. Everything is written, we have to believe. So these are the three things where we differ lots of things. Sometimes we can't believe on this. Without seeing the things, we can't believe that this is right. So these three things, I think, these are the three main things where we differ.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Would anybody like to try and add something, some more value to what Mishra Prabhu said? Yes, Kalikumar Ghosh Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Unmute yourself, Kalikumar Ghosh Prabhu.
We have to understand absolute truth from him only. When he reveals himself, the way how he is to be known.
Yes.
And those are included in our scriptures. So
Very
those
nice.
top-driven knowledges, whereas scientific theories are bottom to upward, and those are experimented hypothesis, experiment, and some knowledge comes that may be apparently true today, but tomorrow it may be disproved.
Very right. So you are basically rephrasing Devendra Mishra Prabhu. Yeah, that's perfectly okay. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Sujit Jana Prabhu.
I think where we the basic difference, I think one is the scientists what they do is basically based on suspicion, and the spiritual knowledge is always based on faith. The knowledge is descending, here it is like ascending. We are experimenting and probably trying to prove something, and before that we always believe that it is untrue. Whereas the essence of the spiritual knowledge and the understanding is based on faith. If we don't have faith, everything is wrong. So I think there is the knowledge, the way the knowledge comes, the truth comes is probably different. It is you have to believe that it is proven by somebody who way several hundreds and thousands and maybe more. I don't know. We don't know the count also. I think that is where probably essentially we different. This is based on faith. That is based on suspicion and experimentation.
Yeah, trial and error. Because as you very correctly said, they don't trust anything that already done. So if I want a wheel, I will reinvent a wheel, not use a wheel that somebody has already invented. Or I don't trust anything. So I want to do it myself and find out for myself. Yeah, very good. I am looking for one more strong distinction between the materialist and the spiritualist, materialistic scientist and the spiritualist. One more. All of you are right. Yes, Devendra Mishra Prabhu, you can try.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji is in today's scientist, it is a man-made. We have insufficient knowledge and also our senses are not controlled. But in the spiritual, God says that things. He is perfect. So I think here we may differ. Whatever we experience today, it is due to lack of our knowledge, lack of our foresight and uncontrolled senses, all that things. But when it comes from God, He is always perfect. So there we can't bet on that things. No, it is not possible. There we may differ.
Yes, you have come very, very close to what I have in my mind. Let Shivakumar Prabhu try. Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
What I understand from previous classes is that the scientists keep on trying how the world has been formed and where from it has come from. Maybe from a big rock, it has separated out, something like that. With this kind of thesis, they have been telling. But whereas those who are in spirituality, we understand that it has been created by the Almighty Lord Krishna.
Yes. Anything more? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So we are accepting the Shabda Praman. That's what Kalikumar Ghosh Prabhu and others were saying. So we accept the scriptures as absolutely true, and it is coming down the parampara without any change, without any modification. So we accept it as it is, and we save a lot of our time. Yeah, thank you so much. Ajit Prabhu, want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, probably scientists try to experiment with the logic of the brain, the materialistic brain, which may perceive certain things, and that's it. So they are not ready to believe in Shabda Brahman, which is there in Vedas. So that's the probable difference. That's where we differ as devotees and as somebody who believes in God as a person, the Supreme Lord as a person. So that's where we differ. They try to construct something with the mind which is very materialistic in nature. So,
yes. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. So the one more point that I want to bring in here is the scientists are all Bahirarthamanina, as Prahlad Maharaj would say. They are looking for the truth outside. They are always doing observations. Yeah, they are collecting observations. They have put out a huge telescope in the sky. That was Hubble telescope. I think now it has been replaced by a much more sophisticated telescope. And then they want to go underground by using very sophisticated seismic equipments and all that. They want to dive under the ocean. They want to go into the sun, and so many things they are trying to do. Externally, they are trying to get so many observations. But the scientist doesn't know who he is. They are not interested to know who is the observer. They are collecting a whole lot of observations. So it is the uncertainty principle, the quantum mechanics, that comes very close to this, addressing this question. Who is the observer? how is the observer influencing the observations? I hope you all understand. I'm not a science student. So if I can understand, I'm sure all of you can understand. I'm not a science student at all. I have done only commerce. So the quantum people, they say, actually, when I make observations, I am also influencing the observation. If I have a particular mindset, I get one observation. If I have a slightly different mindset, I am getting a different observation, contradictory observation. So the quantum people are saying at the subatomic level, earlier we thought atom is the smallest particle. Now we have subatomic world. So the subatomic world, when they study, they are coming with some amazing findings, and that is forcing them to look at the observer. And they are saying that actually the scientists are looking for a new definition of reality. Now only, after all these centuries have gone, scientists are now looking for a new definition of reality, or what we may call absolute reality. That is what we meant by supreme absolute truth. The scientists are redefining their hypothesis, the problem. Whatever work they have done, gone. They are now saying, no, we need to have a new definition of our question. We have not framed our question properly. We want to reframe. What is reality? We need a new definition. That is where scientists are. Because of centuries of studying the external world and without looking at themselves, who am I? Why am I here? Why am I suffering? Who has put me here? How can I free myself from this? These were the questions the great seekers in India, the Bharat, they were looking for in the past. So that is the correct approach to absolute truth. I have to understand who I am. When I try to understand who I am, then at some point of time, I realize that I am not a body, I am a soul. And then the soul is part and parcel of the supreme truth. So the soul is also supreme truth. The supreme truth is within each of us. The soul and the super soul. The soul is a part and parcel of the super soul and his eternal servant. So that way, when you look within, very quickly you come to this position. But that is guided by the Acharya, the Guru, the Parampara. So that is where we have this amazing system of Shabda Pramana as well as the Acharya Parampara to help us to understand that by giving us a process. When you are making external observations, they teach you, okay, how to use the various instruments, and then you go out with the instruments and start making experiments and collecting observations. But when you want to study yourself, for that also you need some instruments. Those instruments are provided by the acharyas. What kind of instruments they provide? Brahmacharya, for example, sense control, mind control. These things they give us so that we are in a position to quieten our mind, quieten the background noise in our head, so that we can dive deeply within ourselves, and then we can come out with the absolute truth. So in that sense, all scientists are externally oriented, bahirmukha. That means they are facing outwardly. But the spiritual man is antarmukha. He is looking within. So when you look within, that is when all the Panchabhutas, they are no longer there when you are looking within. Your body, including your body, the external world dissolves when you look within. Everything is gone in one shot, one stroke. Everything disappears. And then you are only left with your mind, intelligence, false ego. Everything else is gone. Very quickly, you have disassociated yourself from so many distractions, and you are ready to dive deep within. So that is the amazing thing about the spiritual subject matter. So the supreme absolute truth, once you know everything. Kasmin vijñāte sarvametam vijñātam bhavanti. There is a question. Vivekananda popularized this Vedic statement in the whole world by saying the Indian seeker was asking only one question. Only one question. What is that question? What is it? You can write down. What is it? Knowing which everything that is there to be known will become known to me. What is it? Knowing which everything that there is to be known by me will become known to me. Because very quickly you look at the outside world, there is no way you can learn everything in one lifetime. We don't know how long we'll live, but even assuming we live 100 years, it's not enough. One story is told about Bharadwaja Muni. Bharadwaja Muni. He would regularly do tapasya and ask the devatas, please give me 100 years more to live. Why? I have not finished the Vedas. I want to learn more. Okay, given. Then again he would do tapasya. Sorry, not enough. Please give me 1,000 years more of life. Okay, given. Again at the end of those years, he would come back and do tapasya. I want more life. Then at one point of time, Indra Deva appeared to him. And Indra Deva said, please, Bharadwaja Muni, I want to show you something. Please come. And he took him along and he showed something like huge Himalaya mountain ranges, Himalayas, Karakoram, Hindu Kush, everything put together, huge mountain range. And he said, this is the Vedas. Oh, is it like that? Okay, how much have I learned? So Indradev put his hand into the soil and pulled out one handful. And he said, this is what you have mastered so far. To Bharadwaj Muni. And he said, oh, I am sorry. I give up my effort. So that is Veda, unlimited. So it's not enough that we can do that in one lifetime. So the seeker, the very intelligent seeker in Bharat movie, he was asking, what is it knowing which I will know everything? That's all. I need to know one thing. By knowing it, I will know everything. I want that. I have narrated this story to you in one of the early classes. The competition between Lord Ganesh and Lord Kartikeya. I hope you all remember. Narad Muni created this competition. Narad Muni gave one special mango fruit to Shiva and he said, please give this to the more intelligent son. So, or the more powerful one, whatever you might say, more competent one, like that. So Shiva gave one competition. He said, all right, whoever can circumambulate the world first, he gets the mango. So immediately Kartik mounted on his peacock and started flying. And Ganesh was not doing anything because he knew he was already defeated. How can you climb on the mouse and with such a huge body also? Where is the hope? So he did not go only. So after a few minutes, Mother Parvati took pity on him and he said, why Ganesh, why you are not even making an attempt? Then Ganesh, he was so smart. He asked his mother, Mother, is it true that you and Lord Shiva are the universe? She said, yes, you are right. We are the universe. Then Ganesha quietly got up and very leisurely he walked around them 3 times, not once, 3 times, and collected the mango. They could not say no to him because he has done the right thing. He has circumambulated not only world, he has circumambulated the whole creation. And the mango he got. And Kartik came after a while and he was very disappointed, became very angry. We know the story. So who is the smarter one? What is it knowing which everything will be known? What is it circumambulating which I would have circumambulated the whole universe? That was the question that Ganesh asked. Yeah. So same way, the intelligent people, they approach Bhagavad Gita. Yes, we need a little bit of faith, a little bit of trust, which you need to have very little faith. That's all. To start with, you don't need so much faith. Jesus Christ told his 12 disciples, he said, all that you need is a mustard size faith. And I can teach you a lot. That's all. Mustard size faith is what we need. With that, we can achieve our goal. So that is the beauty of the spiritual knowledge. So I am so happy that we are all assembled here to try and understand what is that absolute truth. So very correctly, devotees have answered already. Absolute truth is Lord Krishna. It's so amazing that the absolute truth is a person. Very, very difficult to come intuitively to this conclusion, right? Intuitively, we come to the conclusion that God must be formless. Yeah. God is the essence of everything. And what is the essence of everything? Some formless thing, impersonal, something that has no form, or something that has no qualities, something that cannot be described, something that is one without a second. These are all the ways they describe. The one without a second, Advaita, non-dual, Advaita, like that. There is only one, there is no second like that. These are all intuitive. That is, I am doing my own mental speculation and trying to understand. But then, when you turn towards the scriptures, when you turn towards the Supreme Lord, when you turn to the Acharyas, then they give you the beautiful understanding of what is absolute truth. So let us continue from shloka number 16. Please forgive me, I may have to exceed the time, but I will try to do it fast. Thank you. So the 16th shloka onwards, let us read now. 7:16. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. You remember last class, we ended with 4 types of people who don't worship Krishna. 4 types of people. Now we are going to see who 4 types of people worship him. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Jana sukritinor Arto jigyasur artarti. Dhyani cha bhartarushabha. 17. Teshamyani nityayukta. Eka bhaktir vishishyate. Priyo hi jnani nor. Dhyartham aham sachamama priyaha. Okay, so now Krishna is going to tell who are the 4 types of people who accept him and worship him, and how does he deal with them. Let us read one more shloka or 2 more shlokas. 18th shloka. Udara sarva yevaite jnani tvatmaiva me matam astita sahi yuktatma mam yevanuttamam gatim. 19. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. So, these 4 shlokas let us now discuss. Krishna is saying 4 types of people will worship me. They are the sufferer, Artha. Artha means suffering. They are suffering in this material world. Either they have diseases, or they don't have wealth, or they don't have beauty, or they don't have any influence. People are not respecting them, people are insulting them, they don't have a roof over their head, they want to have some bank balance so that they won't be anxious about tomorrow. Like that, people are having suffering. They are called Artha, people who are in suffering. So Krishna says, they come to me. He says they are religious persons. They come to me with their suffering and pray to me to relieve them. The second type of people, Artharthi. Artharthi means he wants to enjoy the world. For enjoying the world, what do you need? You want wealth. So they are coming to Krishna. Please give me some wealth so that I can enjoy my senses in this material world. But still, because they are coming to Krishna, their desire is material, you see. Both 1 and 2, their desire is material. They want to freedom from suffering and they want to enjoy their senses. But still, even with these material desires, they are coming to Krishna. So Krishna says they are religious persons. Bhajante mam, they are worshipping me. So Krishna says, Krishna is happy with them. And there's a third kind of person. The third kind of person is the inquisitive. That is Jigyasur. Jigyasur means asking questions. That means he is eager to know the absolute truth. He is eager to know in a proper way, to know the absolute truth. So he's coming to Krishna. Oh Krishna, I want to know the truth. He's not going anywhere else. He's coming to Krishna. Please Krishna, reveal to me the absolute truth. So Krishna is saying, all these people are religious persons and I accept them. But the 4th one is the Jnani. He differs from them, others, in the sense, he knows Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead and then he worships him. He knows. By his efforts in the past, he has come to the conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme Person, and then he starts worshipping. He is the Supreme Truth, and then he starts worshipping. So Krishna says, all these 4 types of people are dear to me because they all worship me for whatever reason. But out of the 4, the 4th is very special because he is worshipping me as the Supreme Lord. All the others are also worshipping me, but they are worshipping for some benefit. Somebody is looking for freedom from suffering, somebody is looking for some sense enjoyment, somebody is looking for knowledge. But the 4th person simply wants to serve Krishna. So there's a 4th type of person. Krishna is a special. But please understand, this is not a conclusive list. This is not the full list of Krishna's devotees. Krishna has a separate category of devotees called pure devotees. These 4 are not, in that sense, completely pure because Jnani means he is a Jnana Mishra Bhakta. He is mixing some Jnana in his Bhakti. So he's not also completely pure. But out of the 4, the 4th is the most pure. Other three have some material contaminations. But those contaminations, see, you and I, we all came to Krishna like that. So we all have contaminations. But despite that, Krishna is accepting us. Today, someone gave a nice example I was hearing. The example is given, a sugar cane given in the mouth of an elephant. Can you retrieve it? Can you get it back? The sugar cane given into the mouth of an elephant, is it possible to retrieve it, to get it back? In the same way, a soul that has come to Krishna to worship him, he cannot go back. Krishna will not let him go away. Krishna takes charge of the soul until the soul will return to him in the spiritual world. So anyone, for any reason, they have come to worship Krishna, they are fortunate people. And among them also, whoever is worshipping Krishna as the supreme absolute truth, the supreme Lord, and he is worshipping him out of love and affection, not for any personal need or desire, such a person becomes the greatest devotee, very dear to Krishna. So Prabhupada is giving some shlokas from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Anyabhilashita sunyam, that means no other desire should be there. Jnana karmadi anavritam, it should not be contaminated by jnana and karma. It should be pure. We are talking about pure bhakti yoga. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam, in a favorable way you should serve Krishna. That is called bhakti. So the definition of bhakti, no other desire for personal benefit and neither contaminating with karma or jnana, favorably serving devotionally to Krishna. These are the qualities of pure devotee. And then in the 17th shloka, Krishna says, out of these four types of people, the one who in full knowledge is engaging in my pure devotional service is the best. And I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. Krishna says like that. You see the wording, aham sacha mama priyaha. Priyo hi jnanino tyartam. Jnani is very dear to me and I am also dear to the jnani, because jnani finds so much pleasure coming from his heart by worshipping Krishna. So they become dear to each other. And then Krishna says, but not that only the jnani is dear to me, all these four types of people are magnanimous souls. Udara sarva yevaithe. All these four types of people are very magnanimous souls. This is what Krishna is saying. Just see, we are coming to Krishna with some ulterior motive. We are not interested in Krishna. We are not interested in the pleasure of Krishna. We know Krishna is powerful and Krishna can do things for me, and that's why we have come. We have all come with selfish motives, but still Krishna is saying, oh, you are all magnanimous souls. You have come to me, you are magnanimous. That is the love of a father. When the child turns to him, even with some material desires, the father is happy. He did not go to anyone else, you came to me. So in that sense, Krishna is very pleased with all four of them. But who is engaged in transcendental loving service to Krishna, Krishna says, he will definitely attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. That means the one who worships Krishna in full knowledge, in a transcendental way, he achieves Krishna, Krishna's abode, Krishna's direct association. What about the other three people? So other three people have come with some motive. So Krishna will fulfill that motive. And even in the process of fulfilling the motive, these people will develop more and more attachment to Krishna. So gradually, they will enjoy their desires, but at the same time, they will develop distaste. They will not be interested in all this. They will develop attraction to Krishna more and more. Like the sugar cane that has gone into the mouth of the elephant, they cannot come out. They will become more and more attracted by the amazing qualities of Krishna. And then they will also become like jnani, pure devotees. And then they will serve Krishna only for his pleasure. And that way, they will become free from the contamination and they will also go back to Krishna. So this is what Krishna is telling in this 17th and 18th shlokas, that those who are constantly engaged in thinking of me, who practice bhakti only, you see, who practices bhakti only is the best. You should not mix it with karma, jnana, etc. Pure bhakti. The jnani loves me and he is loved by me. So please, I hope all of you are getting the understanding. The jnani we are talking about here is not the jnani we generally see in the world. The jnani we see in the world is a mental speculator, and he usually says God is formless. They are called the jnanis. The impersonalists, they are only called the jnanis. But Krishna doesn't say they are jnanis. Krishna says jnani only about those who have a personalized understanding of God. He is calling them only jnani. Jnana Mishra, there is a mixing of jnana in their bhakti. That's called jnana Mishra. And he exalts everybody as broad-minded people, but he gives a special place to the jnani. Okay. Now let us go to the 19th shloka. Krishna says here something very, very special. This shloka is to be memorized. Actually, let me say, starting from 7th chapter to 12th chapter, all the shlokas are worth memorizing. That means all 6 chapters are worth memorizing. But out of that also, I will tell you some shlokas which at least you can try to memorize. So one of them is the 19th chapter, 19th shloka. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. The jnani, seeing Vasudeva everywhere, he surrenders to me. How he surrenders? Through devotee association after many births. He has a steady mind and is very rare. Number one, a jnani who surrenders to Krishna is very rare, Krishna is saying. Why? Because jnani is absorbed in his jnana aspect. So he is not able to surrender to Krishna. Jnani gets elevated to the sattva platform, but is not able to transcend the sattva to the Vishuddha sattva platform. So pure devotion is always higher than jnani. Pure devotee is always higher than jnani. So jnani is on the way towards pure devotion. And what is Krishna is saying? The jnani who is seeing Vasudeva everywhere and surrenders to him, he is very, very rare. That means there are jnanis who have to wait thousands of births before they come to see Vasudeva in everything. So that way, for a jnani to attain Krishna and Krishna Bhakti is very, very rare. And how does it happen? Through devotee association. So he is a jnani, but takes many births. At some point of time, he gets devotee association. And by the devotee, his mind is turned towards Krishna, not otherwise. Please remember how important devotee association is. Whether you are a most fallen person or you are a most elevated person, in any case, you will need devotee association. Whether you are a non-devotee or a devotee, you still need devotee association. There is no way we can do without devotee association. Okay, what about if I have already gone back to Krishna in Goloka? Then anybody wants to answer this question? Hare Krishna. I said a devotee association is always necessary. I am asking whether it is necessary after I have gone back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Please unmute and answer. Yes, Ajit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Is it over there? Everybody is in association and serving Krishna in devotion.
Yes.
So in a way, we are there among devotees serving Krishna.
Yes. So, is devotee association necessary or not?
Yes, very much, Prabhuji. There also we are engaged with devotees only in serving Krishna. Beyond that,
The question is it necessary? I have already become completely purified. I have gone back home, back to Godhead. Is it necessary? Devendra Mishra Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is necessary because if we'll move to Gokul also, we'll do the same things. We'll serve Krishna only.
Yes.
So association, everybody is devotee there, everybody is gopi there. So
Yes.
here among them, our job is only to pray God and the association of the bhaktas.
Yes. So is it necessary?
It is necessary.
What will happen if you don't have devotee association in Goloka? Hypothetical question.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, the answer is like this. Yeah, Indranijana.
Yeah, I think devotee association is required there also. Otherwise, we will fall down. We will try to move away from Krishna, and again we'll fall down from that place. I think
Uh,
that is why.
no, Mataji, we don't fall down. Yeah, anyone who has gone back home, back to Godhead, doesn't fall down. Even anyone who has gone to the Brahma Jyoti, they don't fall down. Very, very rarely. But anyone gone back to Vaikuntha, they don't fall down at all. So I tricked you with my question. I asked you to a tricky question. Yes, Kali Kumar Ghosh Prabhu. Please
Yes,
unmute.
Prabhuji, the prime objective of a devotee is to serve Krishna, and the best service to Krishna is for the pleasure of Krishna, whatever the devotee does and whatever situation is. He doesn't have any objective of his own for
Yes,
his own enjoyment.
yes,
So one objective is that all the living beings in the universe must go back to Godhead. So for satisfying, for helping them going back to Godhead
yes,
is one of the favorite objective of devotee,
yes,
and which pleases Krishna.
yes,
So he needs to come back and serve Krishna this way.
yes. So in that sense, yes. But the question is very specifically, what will happen if I don't have devotee association in the spiritual world? Why should I have it then? Sujit Guna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I think in Goloka, one thing is that everybody is a devotee. There are
Yes,
no so we are always bound to have devotee association only, nothing else. That is one thing. Second thing is,
yes,
as Krishna himself says, that all the devotees, what they do and what they like to do is they like the association of other devotees, and they
yes,
talk about Krishna, different leelas, and
yes,
by talking about him and worshipping him, they feel very happy. So, in
yes.
that sense, we need devotee association because that is the only way that we can keep each other happy, and we keep Krishna also happy, seeing the happiness of the devotees. So, for that
So,
reason,
Prabhu, have you seen through the trick in my question? What is the trick?
the trick is that whether we need or not, that is the only thing that we have there. Means we can Goloka, they're all devotees only.
Yes, yeah, now you answered it. Suma Mataji, yes, please. Please unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Prabhuji, we become over possessive about Krishna's love.
Yes.
Like if we start enjoying Krishna alone, when we share it with gopis, like in the gopis' case, they think that Krishna is only meant for them, single person. So that time the Krishna disappears.
Yeah.
So
But that
is
is
it
all a
because of that?
pastime. Yeah, that is actually a
So
pastime.
when we share it among ourselves,
Yeah.
Krishna will be very much present.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice. But Mataji, actually, the gopis have no tinge of selfishness in them. The gopis are simply mirror images of Krishna. They are absolutely pure. This is simply a pastime, a leela. Huh?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah, yeah, no harm, absolutely. It is just to show us how much the gopis need Krishna and how much Krishna needs the gopis. So it is like that. No, the trick in my question was, Jana Prabhu got it. I am asking, is it necessary to have devotee association? Now, in this material world, it is necessary because just take the example of someone having jaundice. Someone having jaundice, sugarcane juice is a medicine for him. So he won't drink it because it will be bitter for him. So you will say, the doctor will say, hey, sugarcane juice is necessary for you. You better take it now. Yeah. And then he starts drinking. It is so bitter, but he's still drinking. At some point of time, his disease is cured. And then he says, where is the sugarcane juice? Why you have not brought it to me today? Then if you ask why sugarcane juice is not necessary for you, he will shout at you. Who said it is necessary or whatever? I want to drink it. That's all. At that point of time, the word necessary becomes improper to use. If I like to eat gulab jamuns, I won't say it is necessary for me to eat gulab jamuns. I will say I relish gulab jamuns. So in that sense, devotee association at this point of time, it may be a little bitter for us. Huh? We may not be always very happy with devotee association. Sometimes if we want to be in, I want my space, I want my privacy. I want to serve the way I want. When I am with devotees, I don't have that freedom. I may say so many things. That is all because of the impurities, contaminations in my heart. But in the Goloka, you are relishing. Machita Magada Prana Bhodayantaha Parasparam. Devotees are always talking about Krishna to each other, enthusing each other, encouraging each other, serving together. Actually, devotees in Goloka, they don't want to be directly in front of Krishna. They want to put other devotees in front of Krishna. Amazing. Amazing. We can talk theoretically. We can't visualize such a situation. Devotees in Goloka, they are not very keen to be in front of Krishna. They want to rather put their friends in front of Krishna. They would rather go behind, and push everybody towards Krishna. How is it possible? It was demonstrated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have seen the case of Vasudeva Datta. Vasudeva Datta is an incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj in Chaitanya Leela. And he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went crying in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, "Oh Mahaprabhu, please do me a favor." And Mahaprabhu said, "What is it you want?" He said, "Put the sins of all living entities on my head. Let me go to hell and suffer eternally. But please liberate all these suffering souls. I cannot tolerate their suffering." See, he's not thinking of his suffering. He's inviting suffering to liberate everybody else. And when he said this, with tears in his eyes, Vasudeva Datta to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's reaction? Can anybody guess? Hare Krishna. Yes, it's all right. Now you can speculate with my permission. Hare Krishna. What was the reaction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this startling request from Vasudeva Datta? Hare Krishna. Have you understood the question? Here you go.
No, Prabhuji, repeat it, please.
See, here is a devotee who goes in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a close associate of Mahaprabhu, and he is making a prayer. Mahaprabhu, please liberate everybody else in this universe. And all their sins, because their sin only they are suffering. Put all the sin on my head. In my account, you write everything. Clean all their accounts. Write all the sins into my account and send me to hell. I know forever I will be in hell only. It doesn't matter. But I don't want to tolerate the sufferings of these souls. Take them back with you to Goloka. Let me be here. This is the request Vasudeva Datta made to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with tears in his eyes. Tears not for himself, tears for others. And when the prayer was made, how did Mahaprabhu react? This is the question. You may not know, but I want you to guess. How did Mahaprabhu react to this prayer? Sujit, yes, Prabhu.
I actually do not know the answer, but I think he would have taken Vasudeva Datta as well as he would have liberated all the others also for whom he was praying.
Yeah, but that is later. What was the immediate reaction, Padmini Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
He hugs and cries, Prabhuji.
Huh? Sorry?
He hugs and cries, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts weeping. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, starts weeping uncontrollably. Can you imagine God crying? Amazing things you will see only in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You will see God crying many times, becomes very emotional, starts crying. And this is one instance when God cries after seeing Vasudeva Datta. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting in the heart of Vasudeva Datta also. He can experience what he is experiencing. Not that he is simply watching Vasudeva Datta talking to him. He is sitting in the heart of Vasudeva Datta. He is experiencing the emotion of Vasudeva Datta, and Mahaprabhu cannot control himself. He starts crying. This is the way a pure devotee gives pleasure to the Lord. Pure devotee's heart is the place where the Lord has all his pastimes. It is so pure. The Lord is so pure. He can only sit in a place which is completely pure. That is the purity that we are seeing in Vasudeva Datta. So this is the level of a pure devotee. So Krishna is saying, for a jnani, he is not at that level. So he will take many, many births. And when we come to devotee association, somebody like Vasudeva Datta, then he will become a pure devotee. So he is very there. Okay. So now let us go to 20th shloka onwards. So here Krishna is going to talk about Devata worship. I don't know, today I am totally out of control. There is hardly time. But let us see. Devotee worship, Devata worship. Kamaistaistairhritagnyana prapadyante anya devataha tam tam niyamam asthaya prakrityariyata swaya. 21. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha श्रद्धयार्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम्. 22. सतया श्रद्धया युक्तस्तस्याराधनमीहते लभते च ततः कामान् मयैव विहितान् हितान्. 23. अन्तवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवति अल्पमेधसां देवान् देवैजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि. So I have read up to 23rd shloka. Why? Because up to here he talks about Devata worship. Okay. So now let us see what Krishna is saying. Those who have become foolish because of their many material desires, because these desires, material desires, steal the true knowledge within us. The knowledge is embedded in the soul. Embedded in the soul. So it cannot be really stolen, but it can be covered. Mayaya apahrita jnana. The Maya means material illusion, material desires. They have stolen our intelligence, our knowledge. So because of that, we have become foolish. And what do? We develop all these material desires and we go to various devatas. We are inspired. When we have so many material desires, we are inspired to go to different devatas and to worship them. Then there are different sets of rules for different devatas. By following those rules, we worship. And why do we do that? Because of the low nature, tamogun, rajogun. Because of this low nature, we accept these different devatas and worship them. To get our desires fulfilled, the relationship is commercial, business, give and take. I go to these devatas to fulfill my various desires. So Krishna says, foolish. Foolishness, because of foolishness. Lack of intelligence. Kama hita jnana. Our knowledge has been stolen. Because of that, we worship them, we follow various rules, and all these rules are given in the Vedas. Why they are given in the Vedas? Why does Krishna do it? Because Krishna will not interfere with our independence. You keep on repeating it to yourself, otherwise you will easily misunderstand Krishna. Everybody misunderstands Krishna, but Krishna is so forgiving. Every one of us misunderstand Krishna. Why Krishna is giving me suffering? Why Krishna is misleading me? Why Krishna is giving me so many distractions? Why doesn't Krishna pick me up when I do something wrong? All these questions. One answer is our independence. He will not interfere. He loves us. He wants us to come back. He doesn't want us to be foolish, but he will never force us. He will keep watching longingly for our return. If you read Brihad Bhagavatamritam, you will know about what happens to Gopakumar. He is one soul like us. He ultimately returns to Goloka. And how Krishna receives him. If you know the story, you will know how every soul is very special to Krishna. Okay, so now let us go to 21. So Krishna says, I give those persons who want to worship devatas firm faith in those respective devatas forms which they want to worship with faith. So even that faith is given by Krishna. If I have a particular desire for a material something and I get inspired to worship a particular devata, Krishna strengthens that faith. Because without faith, if you worship, you won't get results. Lack of faith means it's a very weak attempt, endeavor. So Krishna strengthens that faith so that he can worship the devata with faith. Then what happens? 22. With that faith, the person worships the devata and then the devata gives him the desired objects. And then his faith is further strengthened. But actually, What the Devata does, the Devata goes to Krishna. Krishna says, oh, this person has worshipped me and he has followed the prescribed standards. So what should I do? Krishna says, all right, you give it. That means through Krishna, they take the blessing from Krishna and they pass it on to the worshipper. They take the blessing from Krishna and they pass it on to the worshipper. Devatas have no particular powers except doing this. And because the soul doesn't want Krishna, the soul prefers Devata, Krishna empowers the Devata to do this. Okay, they are the departmental heads, you can say. The master CEO is Lord Krishna. So, 23rd shloka, you have to memorize, all of you. 23rd shloka is very, very important. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasham. People of little intelligence. Alpa medasha means foolish people, small intelligence. Alpa, medasha means intelligence. Alpa, very little. See, these foolish people, they get temporary results by worshipping devatas. Temporary results. Antavattu, it has a beginning and an end. Very little benefit they get by worshipping the devatas. And then Krishna says, Devan Deva Yajoyanti, those who worship devatas, they go to the planet of the devatas. But those who worship me, they come to me. But the difference is the Devatas' planets, they are perishable. But Krishna's planet is imperishable. So those who worship Devatas get a perishable reward. Those who worship Krishna get an imperishable reward. So Krishna is saying, foolish people go to the Devatas, don't go. Foolish people. Krishna is not forbidding you. If you want to act foolishly, go ahead. Krishna will still give you blessings. Krishna will give you faith. Krishna will help you to worship those devatas, and through the devatas, he will give you what you are asking for. Krishna will give you everything. But if you want permanent results, going to devatas is not a very intelligent thing to do. But our freedom will never be encroached upon by Krishna. So we have seen these 23 shlokas. 24. Now, we have finished with Devata worship. I hope you are all clear in your mind. Why should I worship Devatas or why should I not worship Devatas? Whether Devata worshippers are better than atheists. All these things, you can meditate upon that. Whether Devata worshippers are better than impersonalists. These things you can meditate upon. What is the difference between worshipping Krishna and the Devatas? Try to meditate deeply and try to understand. If you have questions, you can ask me later on. So now we come to 24th shloka. Here we are talking about those who worship the formless Brahman, impersonal Brahman. What about them? How does Krishna call them? So Krishna says, Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhayaha. Abuddhayaha. Buddhayaha means intelligent people. Abuddhayaha, unintelligent people. What do they think? Param bhavamaj ananto mama avyayam anuttamam. Krishna says, they don't know my form is transcendental. My qualities are transcendental. My activities are transcendental. I have one question. Please answer. What is the meaning of transcendental? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Transcendental is, it transcends the material world. It's beyond the.
So what? So what? What is the speciality of it?
So the material desires go away.
Yes, Mataji, you are right. Please proceed.
Okay. So, yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji. So when you're transcendental, slowly, the material desires go away and you go closer to Krishna.
Transcendental means material has gone. That is transcendental. Gone.
Okay.
So anything within the three gunas, that is called material. Within the three gunas, sattva, rajo, tamo guna. But once you cross these three, then you are on the transcendental platform. Okay, so when we say Krishna's nature, his form, his qualities, his activities, they are all transcendental, means they are beyond the three gunas. So when they are beyond the three gunas, what is the special feature there? Can anybody say? What is
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
It is eternal and the purest of.
Jai, that's it. So anything within the three gunas, within the material world, is constantly changing and it is full of miseries. So they are called asat. Asat grahayam. Prahlad Maharaj says, anything within this material world to which you are attached, you are called as asat graha. You are holding on to something which is ephemeral, temporary, transient. It will go away. You are trying to hold on. Imagine you are trying to hold on something which is slipping through your finger. How anxious you will become. Something that is slipping. I want to hold on to my youth. I want to hold on to my wealth. I want to hold on to my health. I want to hold on to my children, my relatives. And they are all slipping through my fingers. Even while I am trying to hold on fast, they are slipping away. Does it not cause anxiety? So anything which is within the three modes of nature, it causes anxiety. But if you can hold on to something that is ever unchanging, Achyuta, Krishna's name is Achyuta. We have to hold on to him. By holding on to Achyuta, you don't have the fear of losing. Forever he will protect you. Forever he will be there for you. That is why Krishna says, they don't know my transcendental nature. Those who are attached to the impersonal form, they think that is the highest. And what do they imagine when Krishna comes? They think the absolute Brahman has assumed a temporary form, material form as Krishna. Krishna will die, but the absolute will still remain absolute. That's what they think. So they think Krishna's form is material. Rama, Krishna, Balarama, Narsimha, all forms of Lord they think as temporary. Because they think the permanent is formless. Form means temporary. So it is material. This is the mistake they do, and Krishna calls them abuddhaya, unintelligent people. So do we want to be unintelligent? No. So we accept Krishna as supreme, absolute truth, changeless, transcendental. His nature, form, qualities, activities, they are all transcendental. We accept him that way. That is the fundamental difference. So the abuddhaya, unintelligent people, they think like that. So Prabhupada will explain that with some nice shlokas. I think we may not have time to go through that. So, my Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Person are unable to know you, and even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years, so they will never know Krishna. So how to understand Krishna? By devotional service only. So let us go to the 25th shloka. Naham prakasha sarvasya. This shloka should be memorized. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mamajam avyayam. The shlokas which I am asking you to memorize, mostly they are the shlokas that Prabhupada would repeat in his classes. So that is how I am picking up the shlokas for memorization. These shlokas Prabhupada would either quote full or part in his classes. So those shlokas are especially important for us. Repeatedly Prabhupada would quote. So such shlokas I am recommending for memorization. They have extraordinary power in them. That's why. So in the 21st shloka, Krishna says, being covered by my yoga maya, I am not visible at all times. So the foolish do not understand that I am without birth and I have no material birth, though temporarily appearing as the son of Vasudeva. He appears as son of Vasudeva, so they think he is material. Because Krishna has a birth, they think like that. But Krishna is birthless, he is beyond birth. But he appears temporarily as the son of Vasudeva. He temporarily appears, but he is always covered by Yoga Maya. So he is visible only to his devotees. When Duryodhana sees, he doesn't understand. He thinks Krishna is a magician. He is a trickster. And he is a cowherd. That's what he thinks. But when Bhishma sees Krishna, he sees Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Yogamaya allows pure devotees to see Krishna. But non-devotees, it doesn't allow them to see. So this shloka is that way, very, very important. Krishna is Ajam, Avyayam, unborn, infallible. That is the nature of Krishna. So 26 to 28, we will see. This is all about impersonal God. Let us see. Ichadvesha samuthena 26. Vedaham samatitani vartamani nicharjuna bhavishyami cha bhutani mantu vedana kaschana. So Krishna is describing how he is transcendental. He is telling, I know the past, present and future. What happened, what is happening, what is going to happen in future, I know. But you don't know. No one knows. Why? Because we are changing bodies, temporary bodies. We have a material body, then we get another material body, then another material body. We forget our previous lifetime. But Krishna's body is transcendental, unchanging. So even though externally he may come as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Vamana, Narsimha, etc., external form may change, but they are all his unchanging transcendental body only. So Krishna remembers everything, including the future. And Krishna says, but no one knows me. No one knows me. It's a categorical statement. No one really knows him unless Krishna wants them to know him. Yeah? When Krishna wants them to know him, they will know. So this is the truth when you go to Goloka. When you go to Goloka, then Krishna allows you to know him completely. Because once you are in Goloka, you have the same nature of Krishna, non-different. So you know about Krishna when you go to Goloka. 27th shloka. इच्छाद्वेष समुत्थेन द्वंद्व मोहेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहम सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप. So Krishna says, O son of Bharata, conqueror of the foes, all living entities are born into delusion. Krishna says, everyone has been born into delusion. That means ignorance, covered by ignorance. Why? Because of likes and dislikes. That means, see, the moment we turned away from Krishna, the moment we looked at enjoying ourselves, when we forgot that I am here to serve Krishna, and I started thinking I am here to enjoy, then the duality takes over. Like and dislike, like and dislike, like and dislike. That takes over. That puts us in delusion. Ignorance covers us. Then we don't know anything at that point of time. When you turn away from Krishna, your ignorance covers you. Maya covers you. Then likes and dislikes enter. After that, you begin to act on the bodily platform, selfishly. For your selfish benefit, we start acting. This happened from the beginning of creation. So Krishna is saying, all living beings are bewildered by ignorance. That is why they don't know me. And they don't know the past, present and future also. Because of separation from Krishna. So 28th shloka. Yesham tvanta gatam papam. Please remember this shloka also. Please memorize. Yesham tvanta gatam papam. Jananam punya karmanam. Te dvandva moha nirmukta. Bhajante mam dridhavrataha. So Krishna is giving who becomes his devotee? Krishna is saying, those whose sins have been destroyed by pious acts, after association and mercy of devotees, become free of that ignorance arising from duality by worshipping me and then worship me with determination. So what Krishna is saying, those whose sins have been destroyed, that means people who have become pious, they have stopped doing sinful actions, they get the association and mercy of devotees, and because of the association, their ignorance gradually goes away as they start worshipping Krishna. The duality goes away, and by worshipping Krishna with determination, all their sins are wiped off and they attain Krishna. So who attain Krishna? Those whose sins have been destroyed by pious acts, and they come into association of devotees and get their mercy. They worship Krishna with determination, and that way they become free of ignorance. Once the ignorance is gone, we are back with Krishna. It is ignorance which is separating us from Krishna. Once ignorance is gone, we are back with Krishna. So this is the message. And now we go to the last two shlokas, 29 and 30. Charamarana mokshaya mama shritya yatantiye e brahma tadvidu kritsnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. 30. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadi yajnam cha ye viduh prayana kale pichamam e vidur yukta chetasaha. So here Krishna is talking about the yogis. You remember we have already talked about karmis and jnanis in earlier chapters, and now in the 6th chapter we talked about yogis. So here Krishna is telling how the yogis also who worship Krishna get the benefit. So here says, those yogis who take shelter of me, that means he has been performing Ashtanga Yoga, but is taking shelter of Krishna. For what? To become free from birth and death. So for such people also, Krishna reveals the truth of the Brahman, the Jiva, and the rebirth of the Jiva due to influence of karma. So Krishna is clarifying to them that there is Brahman which is unchanging and you are a Jivatma, but because you have entered into karma, you are getting rebirth. So Krishna will reveal all these things to them so that they can transcend and go to Brahman. They can go to Brahman, the yogis who worship Krishna, but they want to become free from birth and death. They don't want to serve Krishna. So Krishna gives them admission to Brahma Jyoti. So like that. And finally, Krishna says, from this and this final shloka, next chapter will start. So here Krishna is saying, anyone who knows my connection with matter, with the devatas, and with yajnas, once they get that knowledge, the yogis can remember me at the time of death. So these two shlokas are about yogis. Yogis who worship Krishna, they will understand the connection between Krishna and this material world, and the devatas, and this process of sacrifice. By knowing these things, at the time of death, they will remember Krishna. That means, see, Krishna is Adibhutam. That means he is the material world. He is the devatas who are in charge of this material world, and he is also the process of sacrifice by which we get our desires fulfilled. So by knowing that Krishna is everything and they become fixed in that knowledge, then the yogis can remember, instead of anything material, they can remember Krishna at the time of death and they can become liberated. So with this we come to the end of this chapter. Here is a summary, but I am afraid we may not have time to read out because I have summarized the whole chapter here. What shall I do? Shall I read out? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So the highest complete realization or knowledge is the transcendental form of Krishna, the absolute truth. This was the question I asked in the beginning. What is the absolute truth? It is the transcendental form of Krishna. That is absolute truth. Impersonal Brahma Jyoti and localized Paramatma realization are inferior and partial realization. They are not wrong. Please don't debate with people, don't argue with people, don't fight with people saying Paramatma is wrong, Brahma Jyoti is wrong. Please don't do that. They are also correct. They have also come to the transcendental platform. Impersonal Brahma Jyoti is transcendental. Localized Paramatma is transcendental. Anyone who has got the realization, they have got a realization of the supreme absolute truth. Please don't become confused. But that is a incomplete, partial realization. Therefore, it is considered inferior. The complete realization is Krishna, the form. Then other inferior and partial realizations are included within that. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows Krishna is the ultimate knowledge beyond doubt. That is complete Krishna consciousness. You have no doubt. When you see Krishna, you know I am looking at the supreme absolute truth. There is nothing else that exists. Everything else is inferior truth. Only Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. That knowledge you will get when you are in complete Krishna consciousness. Different yoga systems are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. That means so many processes are there, but they are all only stepping stones. The ultimate goal is Krishna, the person. Okay, 9 types of devotional service help us. Now we have moved one step further. So how can I realize Krishna? 9 types of devotional service help us to concentrate the mind upon the form of Krishna. Hearing is supreme. Out of the 9, hearing is supreme. Hearing Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam with faith develops our dormant true knowledge. True knowledge is dormant within us, but hearing these things will wake it up and it will free us from the hard material knot in the heart. That's called Hridaya Granthi. We are bound to this material world by a knot in the heart. That will be snapped. When you hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita regularly, the material knot will be snapped. That means you will reach the transcendental platform. Krishna has 2 major energies. One is the unconscious matter in material forms. That is inferior energy separated from Krishna. Then there is a higher energy called conscious jiva. That is a higher energy. All creation is combination of these 2 energies only. Nothing else exists. Except these, nothing else exists. Both matter and jiva are subordinate and subservient to Krishna. Krishna must be perceived as the essence of all existence. He is the essence. Like gold is the essence of gold ornaments, like that. Ignorance bewilders the jiva from knowing Krishna as the essence of everything, and Krishna is also beyond both independently. As that means Krishna is beyond matter and he is also beyond the jivas, and he exists independently as supreme. This must be understood. Ignorance prevents us from this. Fortunate souls in the association of devotees will surrender to Krishna, and they will know Krishna according to the level of their surrender. To the extent we surrender, to that extent we will know Krishna. Among them, pure selfless devotees are most dear to Krishna, and they achieve Krishna's loving association in Goloka. So we should try to become pure selfless devotees. We have all already become worshippers of Krishna. That means we have come to the path. Now we have to become pure devotees by remaining in the association of devotees. That is what we have to do. Unfortunate souls will deny Krishna. They will refuse to surrender and will wallow in ignorance and suffer perpetually. This is the fate of unfortunate atheistic souls. Worship of other devatas who are Krishna's energies shows our foolishness. It gives only temporary result and it continues our material bondage. They act under Krishna's superintendence only. No need to go to the devatas. They all work under Krishna. They cannot give you anything higher. They cannot give you anything better. In fact, whatever they give is temporary. So, unintelligent, this is about Devata worship. Next point is about impersonalism. Unintelligent men teach that Supreme is impersonal and Krishna is a temporary material form assumed by the impersonal Supreme. Krishna is hidden from them by his internal potency. So, the impersonalist people cannot see Krishna as God. They will see Krishna as a human being. Krishna knows past, present, and future, and there is nothing unknown to him because he is a spiritual person. Intelligent persons take a shelter to be free from birth and death. Pure devotional service will directly connect us with Krishna and his eternal spiritual world and his eternal associates. Only pure devotional service. This is the highest process. What is it? Pure devotional service. And this is the highest result. What? Pure devotional service. So pure devotional service is the highest process and it is simultaneously the highest result. There is no difference between the process and the result. It will take you to the highest goal. So with this we come to the conclusion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So let us express our sincere gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, who is our true savior. I hope by now it is very, very clear to all of us that we had simply no hopes if Prabhupada had not come. Hare Krishna. Yes, if you have any doubts, you can ask. I am already overshot 9:20, but still, if you have any doubts, we can take it up. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
What is the transcendental form of Krishna? I mean, can we only realize him, not see him?
Everything is possible by the mercy of devotees, by the mercy of the acharyas and the paramparas. So, we can see Krishna through our ears. We actually see Krishna through our ears. When the devotees describe the amazing form of Krishna with the help of Bhagavatam, so that way we can see Krishna. Yes, another way we see Krishna is after hearing from the scriptures through the pure devotees, we can go to the temple and look at the Archa Vigraha, which is non-different from the Supreme Lord. Archa Vigraha is not stone, it is not metal, it is not wood, it is not a paint. It is the Supreme Person who has appeared in front of us in a form in which we can see him with our material eyes. And we can serve him also. When Krishna comes in that form, we cannot serve the transcendental form, but we can serve this form which is appearing in front of us. So that is another way that we can see Krishna. We cannot whimsically make a statue of Krishna or a statue of God. That would be wrong. That is what the Christians and Muslims are against. But this is the form revealed by Krishna through the acharyas for our benefit. So this is Krishna himself. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. When we go to the Goloka Vrindavan,
Yes.
he will have a transcendental body, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So we will see him in that nature, right?
Absolutely. And you don't have to go to Goloka also. Once you become a pure devotee, you will have a transcendental body right here. You will have it. Others cannot see your transcendental body.
Okay.
Your own friends and colleagues and family members cannot see your transcendental body. But you can have it. And then you can see Krishna. You can see him face to face. You can talk to him. You can interact with him. You can serve him directly in your transcendental body. Right now, you are serving him in your material body. But as a pure devotee, you will gain your material transcendental body right here.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure many people would have seen Krishna in their transcendental bodies, right?
Haribol! I am sure. I am sure. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Santa Sadaiva. Sadaiva means always. Santa means pure devotee. Sadaiva Hridayeshu means in their heart. Vilokayanti. In their heart, Krishna is shining. Don't imagine that they are imagining. Krishna is actually shining in their heart and they are seeing. Premanjana Churita Bhakti. Their eyes are anointed with prema. Prema Anjana Churita. Bhakti Vilochanena. Their eyes are bhakti eyes. Bhakti Vilo Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. How he is appearing? Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. He is a Shama Sundara form. He is this, the color of the blackish monsoon cloud. That Shama Sundara. This beautiful form is appearing in their heart. Sadaiva, always. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. This is what Brahmadeva is praying. So there are pure devotees who are seeing Krishna all the time. Prabhupada said, yes, I am seeing Krishna all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shivkumar
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have one doubt. Is Moksham, you said Moksham and Golokam. I was thinking both are the same.
Yes.
Are they different?
Both are the same. But you see, Jesus Christ in Bible, he says, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. So, we say that there is something called material world and the transcendental platform. Okay. So, material world, we all know. Beyond the material world, we come to transcendence. That is beyond the three gunas. There, you have first Brahma Jyoti. So once you go beyond the material world, we say you have attained moksha.
Okay.
Once you go beyond the material world, you have attained moksha. But at the level of moksha, you first come to Brahma Jyoti. So those who worship Krishna as impersonal, they attain Brahma Jyoti.
Okay.
Or those who are only focusing on the soul, but they are not focusing on the super soul, they also come to Brahma Jyoti. But then the devotees go higher. They go to Vaikuntha, and they go at the level of Vaikuntha. There are many levels, and the highest Vaikuntha is Goloka, where the devotees can enter into the planet Goloka. They can have personal association of Krishna and his pure devotees, and they can serve him 24 hours eternally, absolutely enjoying Satchitananda. So that is also moksha. So this Brahma Jyoti is also moksha. Goloka is also moksha because they are all beyond the three gunas. But devotees don't want Brahma Jyoti. And Krishna devotees don't want Vaikuntha also. They want only Goloka. And in Goloka also, they want to serve Krishna in a particular rasa. Either they want to serve Krishna as his parents, or his elders, or his friends, or his servants, or his lovers, either his wedded wife or beloved, in whichever way they want to serve. Krishna accommodates all of them. That's why he is God. He can accommodate all kinds of desires. That's why he is God.
Thank you so much.
So moksha means going beyond material creation. That's all. That is moksha.
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Thanks for your excellent explanation. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So thank you. So shall we close here? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. Thank you for your patience. We shall meet next week again. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
pranam.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.